Good morning, everyone. My name is Jorge Alberto Games Manjarres. I'm a student at UNAT University. This is the Pedagogical Experience 1. Here is with me Dr. Jairo Gutierrez, who is the supporting teacher, who is going to answer a few questions. So how are you doing today, Dr. Jairo?
Fine, very well. Fine, very well. Good morning.
Okay, let me ask you this question, Dr. Jairo. Listen to me, please. One of the
Yeah.
methodological strategies more implemented by teachers in our country today in the pedagogical exercise is the visualization of multimedia content. Do you
Okay.
consider, Dr. Jairo Gutierrez, that by means of the incorporation of this strategy to scope the achievement and development of competences in the student would be more meaningful? What is your opinion about it, Dr. Jairo?
Okay. One important methodological strategy, for example, is the CLT, the communicative language teaching, is an important the communicative approach. The purposes may be of many different kinds. What is essential in all of them, the communicative learning teaching is, for example, the tutor or the teacher. The two parties are involved in an interaction of transaction of some kind where one party have an intention in the other party of some kind, where one party has the intention in the other party. For example, the discussion, the communicative style of design, the forces to develop, the force skills, for example, speaking with the listening, are the so many different alternatives in the language teaching. The ranging from the model in which communicative exercise is getting on the an existing structural situational process. It's important for the teacher to detect the strong and weak version of the some topic when using communicative language teaching. But it's an important methodological strategy for implementing inside the classroom as a didactical strategy, employing available language resources in problem solving tasks, especially in
All right.
punctuality. Yes.
Okay, good. If I understood so well, the idea is to implement the communicative abilities in the
Yes.
classroom in order to
Yes.
improve the process, the
Yes.
learning
For
and
example,
teaching process.
yes. For
Yeah.
example, implementing dialogues is used centered around a communicative function and
Yeah.
is an special function because the students doesn't memorize and the contextualization is a
Yeah.
basic premise. The language
Oh,
learning is learning to communicative and effective communication is
okay.
sought. For
Yeah.
example, the drilling may occur, but the peripherally the comprehensible pronunciation is sought.
Okay. The idea is that he starts speaking by himself, to express his opinion to according to the context, or the people in front of him. Dr. Jairo,
Yes, the
listen.
situated didactic, for example, the situated
Exactly.
didactic using the
Exactly.
local context. Yes.
All right. Yeah. Listen, could you explain why it is quite important to implement methodological strategies in the English area to achieve in this way the strengthening of the teaching and learning process?
For example, there are so many type of learning and teaching activity. With MOVE method, the CL, the communicative language learning, for example, combines innovative learning tasks and activity with conventional ones. Um, this approach may include, for example, translation. And a student forms a small circle, and a student whispers a message or meaning that he or she wants to express, and the teacher translates it into may interpret in it. The target language, for example, the student repeats the teacher's translation. The group work or the teamwork is very important. For example, the student may engage in various group tasks, such as a small group discussion of a topic, preparing a conversation, preparing a summary of a topic or, for presentation to another group. Is very, very important. That is changing situation, preparing a story, for example, that will be presented to the teacher
Yeah.
and the rest of the class, involving all the
Okay.
time student in something very important, that all be
Yeah.
in English. And English total immersion is important inside the class for developing and the management inside the so didactical or pedagogical strategy inside the classroom.
Okay. It gives the opportunity to the student not only to express his idea orally, but also by writing, in order to produce.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah,
developing the four skills.
exactly. Listen, Dr. Jairo, under what guidelines would be better addressed, be achieved in the classroom that encourages the optimization of both the academic and the behavioral aspects of students?
For example, but a good control of the class.
Yeah.
For example, the teacher role. My mm, my suggestion, recommendation is the primary role of the teacher is to create, is to design situation in which the student be more suggestible, and then to present linguistic material in a way more likely to encourage positive reception and retention by the students.
Okay. All right.
For example, several topics that contribute to this situation. If they show actually confidence in the method, any methods, for
All
example, the audiolingual, neurolingual, suggest topic, multimedia, hypermedia material, internet,
okay.
flashcard, audios,
Okay. Okay.
audios from
Okay.
internet.
Yeah.
Yes.
those ty- those type of multimedia resources, that will help the student to develop his language. Dr. Jairo, do you think that according to the annotations made in the student's observer and through the execution of a good control and monitoring plan, it would be possible to improve the academic performance of those young students who persist in insufficient achievements?
Okay. For example, yes, the teachers. For example, the teacher has tended to trifle in neglecting the essentials of the forest curve in so many learning and teaching process. And English gradually becoming a demonstrating hall, for example, of computer functions. In order to prevent the students' turnover, the teachers have made great effort to design, for example, flowery and fancy courseware, but they have neglected the cognitive love. They
Yeah.
didn't consider the factor very well, such as a teaching aim, teaching object, teaching content, and teaching measure student round about the teacher press, how the form
Okay, okay, teacher.
to manage the computer functions, for example, using internet, using multimedia, videos, links about to about to develop the first skill of English.
Okay, that's a good appreciation, and I think you hit the nail on the head when you say that. Dr. Jairo, in order to finish our interview, I would like to ask you the same question. Please let me know, based on your experience as a tutor at UNAD University, what advice or pedagogical recommendations you would give to new teachers from different areas of knowledge that are about to work as education professionals in multiple establishments in our country, Colombia.
But yes, because because it's very important for the teacher that be ordered, and organized with a lesson plan every day, but structured with an authentic material in the form of files or printing material for all the cards affecting the comprehension, but the approach of methods, the different teaching methods that have been implemented to the test the effectiveness of the teaching process. For example, the ELT, the English learning teaching, in order to create English contests. This helps students, for example, to get involved and let according to their interests and has been tasted effectively and a widely accepted for teaching English modern world. Supporting by ICT, using the ICT videos on recording material, flashcards, microworks, and some technology circles. Yes, the microworks is very important. The create inside the classroom with the students is very important. Inside the dialogues in English all the times, impinging, but in affirmative process in students, that is studying all the time think about English all the time.
All right.
Yes, expressing
Listen.
in the, yes, it's a modern style. It's satisfying for visual and auditory senses of the students.
Exactly. The idea is like something to immerse the student in the English, something like a second language, where he can develop the pragmatical competence, not only speaking and listening, but also writing, developing vocabulary, learning new expression for people around, And so far, I think that would be a good experience for the student in order to develop all the communicative abilities. Okay, Dr. Jairo, thank you for your appreciation, for your comment, for your experience, and thank you so much for the interview. So I really hope you have a great day, okay?
God Same bless to you, and you're welcome, my dear student, Jorge.
All right.
Same
Thank
to
you. All right.
Have
Thank you so much.
Weekend. Okay.
All right. You too.
Okay.
Yeah. Take care.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.